Magruder in the left slot. Hill, right side, hit at the line of scrimmage. Tries to keep going. Does he get in? No sit. Touchdown, Midway. Oh, my. That took forever.
The Midway Weekly Podcast is brought to you by Bentwood Realty, Bird Culchin Ford, Bubba's 33, and Texas Farm Bureau Insurance. Now, here's David Smoak.
It is week number 6 of the Texas high school football season and our weekly segment with Midway football coach Shane Anderson, brought to you by Burt Colgin Ford and some other great sponsors that we have on 365 Sports. The food tastes any better. Water tastes a little more clean. The sheets are clean. I mean, everything better when you win a game?
Yeah, it's better. It's, but the old cliche, you get to enjoy it for 24 hours, get to enjoy it Friday night, Saturday morning, then it's to the next one. But just super proud of our kids, how they responded to an 0-4 start. A lot of naysayers, a lot of haters out there talking, are you going to get it? Are you going to win? Are you going to this? Are you going to that? And then inside our doors, our focus was, being 1-0 in district, and we were able to do that last week, and so we're trying to do it again this week.
On your Twitter handle, or your feed, you talked about how when you woke up, you felt a lot better.
Woke up a winner. It's a lot better than the other way around.
Now that you won the game, you still have what Harker Heights is really good, and that's who you have next on Friday in Killeen at Leo Buckley. This team made plays, and not just offensively. That gets all the attention because of what Junior can do, but there were guys like Taylor Dudley that made a big catch. Lowrance made a big catch on some plays that were broken plays, and I'm not trying to forget anybody else. Conway, a critical conversion, and then he had the 2-point conversion. But defensively at the end of the game, what's it like to be able to take some risk and maybe just go after them because you're not, my God, we're only up by 3 points or less than a touchdown?
Yeah, it's nice, and we talked to our kids about that, this week. The way we played that fourth quarter the other night is how we need to play every quarter. And, everything's not always going to go your way, and everything's, there's going to be some bumps in the road along the way throughout a game, roller coaster ride, whatever you want to call it. But, we talked to our kids about, playing with some confidence and playing from the first snap to the last snap, with that swagger and with that, confidence.
You have the challenge this weekend or Friday. They have Rashawn Sanford, who's a phenomenal player, record-breaking running back for them, and he can put up 250, 300. He's done that before. He had a fairly good game in their win to open up against Weiss, just over 200 yards. What makes him so special?
Well, I think first and foremost, he's extremely fast. And then to go along with that, he's got a low center of gravity, good balance. He's not a real big kid, but, he runs extremely hard. And, I'd be interested to go back and look at his yards after contact and look at some of those things. But, he's a kid that, you can tell he's played a lot of football. You can tell he's had a lot of success, and you can tell he's a Division I running back. And so it's going to take every effort we have to slow him down Friday night. And, he couldn't do what he's doing without an offensive line and without, the quarterback he has back there that keeps the box how they want the box so that he can run the football.
He, of course, is committed to Houston. They have a left tackle, a big kid, Chapman, committed to Texas. A right tackle is committed, I think, to UT San Antonio. The defensive backs got offers from everywhere. Jerry Edwards was an assistant coach with Jeff Hume when they were at Mansfield, and they had a lot of success. And Jerry came down. I would think out of all the schools in the Killeen ISD area, now some of them have dropped down because of the way they split it up and Chaparral's a new school, they have probably given Midway the most trouble. They've beaten them once the last time they played, but like 7-1 overall. Shoemaker got you one time, and you guys remember that. And I think another year somebody else got you. But for the most part, they seem to have been more like a team that fits who you are. Am I right?
Yeah, I think Coach Edwards has done an outstanding job since he's gotten there. And, he came in there, 11 years ago now, something like that.
Been there a while, yeah.
We were still there at Midway, and Coach Gamble was the head coach, and Coach Hume was still at Mansfield, and he came in there, and they took an old school way of thinking and old ball coach mindset, and they got in there and got after it. And classes are going to come and go, and talent levels go up and down at the high school level. But Jerry's stayed really consistent. His staff has stayed really consistent. He's done a really, really good job of implementing a tough brand of football there in Harker Heights. And, you can – Coach Allison and I were, talking yesterday, what do you think they're going to do to this? What do you think they're going to do to that? And I said, they're going to run a 4-3 cover 2. That's what he does. And you can go back and you can pull up the 18 film, the 17 film, the 19 film, and it's a 4-3 cover 2. And those kids are sound, and they do it at every level. And that's a tribute to Jerry Edwards and his staff. And, they have an identity. And they're going to run the football, and they're going to play great defense.
Yeah, I know Midway's been able to get one or two where you separated whoever the coach was and put up some points. But for the most part, it's been like a turf war, and they have that same team. There are those indexes like Carl Padilla, Jerry Forrest. They have these indexes, and I rely on some of them just to kind of look at what's going on. One of them has you getting shut out 27-0.
It's all right. Like I said, to be honest with you, I've gotten the longer, when I first became a head coach, I was always interested in, do they have us pick to win? What are the kids seeing? The older I get, the longer I do this. This is, like I said, this is my 8th year as a head coach, and I'll be honest with you, I don't even look at the Waco Trib. And, I told Bryce that last week. I said, shoot, I don't even know if you picked us to win, Bryce. Yeah. And like I said, it is what it is. Our kids know that if we show up and we take care of the football, eliminate the big plays, and play extremely hard for 4 quarters, it's going to be a great football game.
How proud are you of not what Junior Thornton has done with the plays, but how he's handled the role as a quarterback? I'm
extremely proud. He's a kid that – wasn't the most mature kid as a freshman and sophomore. I didn't know him as a freshman, but coming in last year and watching him as a sophomore, obviously we saw him make some dynamic plays. We saw him kind of shut it down at times, to do the bumps and bruises, and I think it was just a maturity deal. And he and I, before we made this decision to move him to quarterback, we had a long discussion. His dad, himself and myself in my office with the door closed. And, I just explained to him, the role that I wanted him to take on, and understood that it's not an easy role. And it's not an easy role to play quarterback at the 6A level or at any level. And for him to do that and do it successfully, he's going to have to be the best player on and off the field all the time.
One question or two about last week. Shane Anderson, Midway, our weekly podcast. I'm David Smoak on 365 Sports. What was the bigger play? The fake punt? Because after the timeout, you kind of were able to get Junior out there, and I saw him there. I was like, what's he doing out there? He's not there to protect the punter. Or first play of the third quarter, you're up at halftime, and here comes, I think, the running back takes off. He's gone. And Jaden Reichert chases him down. They end up settling for a field goal.
Well, I think that the Reichert play is probably the one that kind of goes unnoticed. Everybody saw the touchdown fake punt. Everybody saw the scramble around on the hard count and throw it up to Lawrence. And everybody sees those things. But, you look at, Jaden's effort. And like I told you, before earlier this week, Jaden's a kid that – he's going to get in there, he's going to fight, he's going to claw, he's going to scratch. He's not the best athlete. He's not the tallest, longest kid. He's not the strongest kid. He's just a good Midway Panther football player that's going to get after it. And, and his effort and keeping them, at bay right there, not letting them get in the end zone and then holding them to a field goal, I think was a little bit of a momentum swing to get us going in the second half.
And then there was the muff punt, too, that obviously turned out to be a huge play. 7 o'clock pregame, 7:30 the kick at the famous Leo Buckley Stadium in Killeen. It's Harker Heights. They're good. And Midway's coming off their first win of the year. We'll have the game on 106.7 FM, The Eagle, on terrestrial radio, and also on SicEm365.com. Good luck. Thanks for your time.
I appreciate you guys.
Shane Anderson, head football coach at Midway. This is 365 Sports.
Magruder in the left slot.
Hill, right side, hit at the line of scrimmage, tries to keep going. Does he get in? No sit, touchdown, Midway. Oh my! That took forever.
The Midway Weekly Podcast is brought to you by Bentwood Realty, Bird Culchin Ford, Bubba's 33, and Texas Farm Bureau Insurance.